Jeanne and Phil Revnell.
Yeah.
Right.
Just getting his
Okay.
fingers on.
Yeah. This is a musical song.
Just stand back a bit, can't
Yeah.
see you.
All right. That might be an improvement. Originally sung by Clarice Main, who was one of the better behaved of the musical artists. And it's called rather uninspiringly Mr. and Mrs. Smith.
Lizzie was a pretty little housemaid at Mr. Smith's in Upper Bedford Row. And Lizzie was a maid that was very far from staid. In fact, to put it mild, she wasn't slow. Every Monday Mrs. Smith went to a sewing class, and this is where our story here begins. For by a strange coincidence that always used to happen, upon that evening Mr. Smith stayed in, and he'd take Miss Lizzie on his knee and bob her up and down like this. He'd squeeze her dainty little figure and her ruby lips he'd kiss. They sat together in the gloom. I don't know what they talked about. All I know is Mr. Smith was in and Mrs. Smith was out. Lizzie got to look for Monday evenings. Pitter-patter went her little heart. She'd watch with anxious eye as the time was drawing nigh when Mrs. Smith from home was to depart. Mr. Smith upon that night would hurry home from town and haste to get his dinner over soon. And when he'd finished eating, with a smile of satisfaction, he'd lice out his knife and fork and spoon, and he'd take Miss Lizzie on his knee and bob her up and down like this. He'd squeeze her dainty little figure and her ruby lips he'd kiss. They sat together in the gloom. I don't know what they talked about. All I know is Mr. Smith was in and Mrs. Smith was out. Mr. Smith and Lizzie every Monday an hour or two of blissful rapture stole, and by the fire there in a nicely easy chair they sat and talked about the price of coal, until one evening Mrs. Smith returned before her time, and peeking through the keyhole just for fun, she saw her hubby teaching Lizzie how to press his trousers, and this is how the pressing part was done. Yes, he sat Miss Lizzie on his knee and bobbed her up and down like this. He squeezed her dainty little figure and her ruby lips he kissed. They sat together in the gloom. I don't know what they talked about. All I know is Mrs. Smith flew in and Mr. Smith flew out.
I've heard that one before.
It's not very well known.
Thank you. A cheery start to the evening. Lovely stuff. Okay. So over to Steve Suffet now, please. And could Tara, could you follow Steve?
Voici une chanson en deux langues, anglais et français. You know the song, you could wail along with it. Il y a une maison à la Nouvelle-Orléans. On appelle le Soleil Levant. C'est la rune de beaucoup de jeunes filles. Et moi, mon Dieu, j'en suis une. There is a house in New Orleans they call the rising sun. It's been the ruin of many poor girls and me, dear God, I'm one. If I had listened to what my mama said, I'd be back home today. But I was young and foolish, poor girl. I let a gambler lead me astray. He fills his glasses, yeah, up to the brim. He passes his cards around, and the only time that he is satisfied is drinking his liquor on down. Dida, ma petite, a je me l'ai fait que j'ai la fait. Et vide la maison à la Nouvelle-Orléans. On appelle le Soleil Levant. Je reviens à la Nouvelle-Orléans. My race is almost run. Je vais passer tous mes jours sur the rising sun. En français. Il y a une maison à la Nouvelle-Orléans. On appelle le Soleil Levant. C'est la reine de beaucoup jeunes filles. Et moi, mon Dieu, j'en suis une. One last time on anglais. There is a house in New Orleans they call the rising sun. It's been the ruin of many a poor girl. Hey, moi, mon Dieu, I'm one. House of the Rising Sun, traditional African American with the French lyrics.
This magnifique.
Merci bien.
Thanks, Steve. From an English language song in French to an English girl in France. Very awkward segue there on my part, but it's time for Tara, and Tara, after Tara, Bob Askew, please. I assume you are English, Tara.
Yeah, I am, yeah. Yeah, we're Londoners. Although the name McKenny probably comes from Ireland or somewhere, or Scotland or somewhere. Well, I think we were wreckers on the Cornish coast, apparently. I'm just saying that to cover while I try and undo this knot. But anyway, so I'm last week I asked if anybody knew the song Designer Blues because I was trying to find it so I could sing it. But nobody knew it and didn't find it. So I decided to write a new one. So this is called COVID Light Blues. So I hope you like it. And this is just, I think you'll all recognise what this is. And I will be making reference to it in the song. So here we go. Got the telegram this morning. That's my local newspaper. Blues was all around. It says, keep your masks on, people. There's blues all around the town. Well, the mask is blue. You have to wear it in Les Nevins. The COVID rate's still rising and the hospitalizations ain't down. President Macron's on the telly saying lockdown's coming to an end. He says restaurants, concerts, cinemas soon gonna be open again. He don't say where I get the money to go to any of them. Well, I never used to get much anyway, so there you go. Lordy, I'm gonna ride upon that southbound train. Well, in fact, I'll probably drive, but it doesn't scan so well. Going down to that old clinic in London, oh, once again. I gotta try and get me some vaccine, or I'll never be able to get back on a plane. Or the ferry either, for that matter. So I live my poor life, just walking on the beach and swimming in the sea, or sitting in my garden reading sunshine and drinking cups of tea. Sometimes I do yoga. I got shops on Tuesday nights, and well, that's enough for me. So I guess I ain't got no right to be singing these COVID blues. I kind of miss my folks. Does that count? Thank you.
Thanks, Tara. Very topical. Okay, time now for two Bobs in a row. So the first Bob is Bob Askew, and the second Bob is Bob Wakeling. Over to you, Bob.
Dora, it's just waiting for it to be muted. Is it okay to sing?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just waiting to see it go muted. Right, yeah, sorry, waiting for the magic sign. Right, it's nearly a year since I last sung this, so I'd like to sing a Hampshire version of John Barleycorn. We're actually going to be discussing this tomorrow, some of us. This was collected from George Smith in Fareham, where I am now, because I'm in exile from London for the moment. There came three men from the east, they sold both corn and rye, and they have made a vow, me boys, John Barleycorn should die. To me right for lol, diddle all the day, right for lol dee dee. They ploughed the ground and sowed it, put clods upon his head, and they have made a vow, me boys, John Barleycorn was dead. To me right for lol, diddle all the day, right for lol dee dee. There he lay for a very long time, till rain from the sky did fall. John Barleycorn he roused me boys, and that surprised them all. To me right for lol, diddle all the day, right for lol dee dee. They let him stand till midsummer, when he grew both pale and wan. John Barleycorn has grown a beard, and so become a man. To me right for lol, diddle all the day, right for lol dee dee. They hired men with scythes sharp to cut him at the knee. They rolled and tied him by the waist and served him barbarously. To me right for lol, diddle all the day, right for lol-dee-dee. In comes a jolly poker to poke him with a fork. Millard's carter served him worse than that, for he bound him to the cart. To me right for lol, diddle all the day, right for lol-dee-dee. In comes a jolly flesher to cut some flesh from bone, for the miller served him worse than that, for he ground him 'tween two stones. To me right for lol, diddle all the day, right for lol-dee-dee. It's brandy in a bottle and cider in a can. John Barleycorn in that brown jug will floor the jolliest man. To me right for lol, diddle all the day, right for lol-dee-dee. It's brandy in a bottle and cider in a can. John Barleycorn in that brown jug will floor the jolliest man. To me right for lol, diddle all the day, right for lol-dee-dee.
Thanks, Bob. Nothing like John Barleycorn from Hampshire or any other time, any other place, that is. Here he is here. Okay, Bob Wakeling, it's over to you now, and then could we hear from David Kidman, please? Bob, are you there? There you are.
I said, I'm sorry I haven't been here for a while because I had health problems, but hopefully they're sorted now. And just around this time, it's the birthday of Martin Carthy and also of Bob Dylan. I won't do a Martin Carthy song because it's not quite the same sort of thing. This is from about 1973. It's called The Lonesome Death of Hattie Carroll. William Tansinger killed poor Hattie Carroll with a cane that he twirled round his diamond ring finger in a Baltimore hotel society gathering, and the cops was called in and his weapon took from him, and they rode him in custody down to the station and booked William Tansinger for first-degree murder. And you philosophize disgrace and criticize our fears, take the rag away from your face. Now ain't the time for your tears. William Tansinger, who at 24 years old owned a tobacco farm, 600 acres, with a rich, wealthy parents to provide and protect him in high office relations in the politics of Maryland, reacted to his deed with a shrug of his shoulders and with swear words and sneering, and his tongue was a snarling. In a matter of minutes, on bail was out walking, and you philosophize disgrace and criticize all fears, take the rag away from your face. Now ain't the time for your tears. Hattie Carroll was a maid in the kitchen. She was 51 years old and gave birth to 10 children. She just served out all the food at the table, and she didn't even speak to the people at the table, and she never sat once at the head of the table. She just emptied the ash cans on a whole other level. Got killed by a blow, laid slain by a cane that flew through the air to destroy all the gentle. And you philosophize disgrace and criticize all fears. Take the rag away from your face. Now ain't the time for your tears. In the courtroom of honour, the judge pounded his gavel to show that all's equal and that the courts are on the level and that the strings in the books ain't pulled and persuaded, and that even the nobles get properly handled once that the cops have chased after and caught 'em, and that the ladder of law has no top and no bottom. And he stared at the man who had killed for no reason, who just happened to be feeling that way without warning. And he spoke through his cloak, both deep and distinguished, and handed out strongly for penalty and repentance. William Danziger with a 6-month sentence. And you philosophize disgrace and criticize our fears. Bury the rag deep in your face. Now is the time for your tears.
Well told, Bob. An important story. Okay, time now for David Kidman, and then could we have Mick Elfred, please?
Okay, just checking the mute. You're not going to believe it, but I was going to sing John Barleycorn, so I'm not now. You'll not believe it, but I was going to sing another Dylan song from the same album, so I'm not going to do that one. So, choice number 3, which no one will have I'll save my Dylan number for next week, I think. It's his birthday on the 24th, isn't it? Right, this is a song more suited to my backdrop. It's from a singer-songwriter named Dora Darling. It's called Out on the Ocean. My brothers all have gone to sea. Out on the ocean all are free. The tide she swells in my blood and bone. The rising sea, she calls me home. And in my heart there beats out a song, for it's on the ocean I belong. Now my father says I must take a wife. Out on the ocean all are free. And on the land must live out my life, for the rising sea, she calls me home. And in my heart there beats out a song, for it's on the ocean I belong. So late one night I stowed away. Out on the ocean all are free. I danced by night and slept by day. The rising sea, she calls me home. And in my heart there beats out a song, for it's on the ocean I belong. Now the men one night drank so much rum, out on the ocean all are free. They slept as the dead, as still as stone, for the rising sea, she calls me home. And in my heart there beats out a song, for it's on the ocean I belong. Then a storm that night came howling through, out on the ocean all are free. 'Twould put an end to all the crew, for the rising sea, she calls me home. And in my heart there beats out a song, for it's on the ocean I belong. So I sailed the ship through the darkest night, out on the ocean all are free, till my brow it was kissed by the morning light. The rising sea, she calls me home. And in my heart there beats out a song, for it's on the ocean I belong. For a ship, it shall always be my home, out on the ocean I belong. With the sound of the sea, I'm never alone. The rising sea, she calls me home. And in my heart there beats out a song, for it's on the ocean I belong. For it's on the ocean I belong.
Great song, Dick.
Brilliant.
Thanks, David. Kind of hypnotic, that song. Yeah.
Yeah,
Thank
it just
you.
gets to you, doesn't it?
Yeah. Okay, it's Mick Elfred next. Welcome back, Mick, and good to see you again. And after Mick, could Charles West please strut his stuff?
Well, there's been a bit of a talk about Bob Dylan tonight, and I got into folk music listening to Bob Dylan on wet dinner times at school when I was in the fifth form, listening to his early albums on an old mono player. And after about a year of that, I realised there was folk music in my own country. I got into that, and so I tended to play that more. But I do occasionally do Dylan songs. So for his birthday, which is on Monday, I'll do this one. Traveling in the North Country Fair, was a true love of mine. If you're going in the winter time, when the rivers are frozen and the sun ends, please see for me she's wearing a coat so warm to keep her from the howling winds. Please see for me that her hair's hanging down. It rolls and falls all across her breast. Please see for me that her hair's hanging down. That's the way that I remember her best. Sometimes I wonder if she thinks on me at all. Many times I've oft blamed in the darkness of my nights and in the brightness of my days. So if you're traveling in the North Country Fair, where the wind hits heavy on the borderline, remember me to a girl who lives there. She once was a true love of mine. She once was a true love of mine. She once was a true love of mine. There you go, welcome Mick.
That too was kind of hypnotic with the accompaniment. Yeah. We're all going to be well hypnotized by the end of the evening. Thank you, Mick. Okay, over now to Charles West, and then it will be time for Alison Frosdick.
Well, I'm glad to see that it's Dylan time, because I was going to do a Dylan song today. Unfortunately, no one has done it so far, so that's a good thing. I love that song from the North Country. It's worth coming to Sharps to be reminded of some of the stuff that I should have remembered and haven't. Anyway, this is Tomorrow is a Long Time, and it's from Dylan's early period when he was mourning the loss of Susie Rapallo, who had been shipped off to Italy. If today was not an endless highway, if tonight is not a crooked trail, if tomorrow wasn't such a long time, then lonesome would mean nothing to me at all. Yes, and only if my own true love was waiting, I could hear her heart softly pounding, and only if she was lying by me, then I'd lie in my bed once again. I can't see my reflection in the water. I can't speak the sounds to show no pain. I can't hear the echo of my footsteps or remember the sounds of my own name. Yes, and only if my own true love is waiting, I could hear her heart softly pounding, and only if she was lying by me, and I'd lie in my bed once again. There's beauty in that silver singing river. There's beauty in that rainbow in the sky. But none of these and nothing else can touch the beauty that I remember in my true love's eye. Yes, and only if love was waiting, if I could hear her heart softly pounding, and only if she was lying by me, then I'd lie in my bed once again. Thank you.
Thanks, Charles. Charles, somebody said in the chat, it's inevitable this would be a Dylan evening. I'm afraid I completely missed the memo, so this is a nice surprise for me. But thank you for that. Okay, over to Alison Frosdick now, and then after Alison, Steve Andisaw.
I also apologise, like Bob, for not coming that often at the moment. That's because I'm doing a course at the moment on a Tuesday evening from 6:30 till 8. So I've rushed to get here tonight, but I haven't had any dinner. So unfortunately I can't stay all night, otherwise I'll starve. I don't know any Dylan songs, so I'm not going to try and sing one at all. I think I'm a bit young to remember the heady days of Bob Dylan, but anyway, there we are. So I'm going to sing a song in Welsh. It's a very quick song, so I might sing it twice. It's often sung as a round, and it's to welcome in the lovely month of June, which will come soon, and the cuckoo will be heard singing in our land, or singing beautifully or fine in our land. There we go. Daw Hyfryd fish, Mehefin cyn bo hir, a llaw hir a cuckoo'n canu braf in nain tir, braf in nain tir, braf in nain tir, cuckoo, cuckoo, cuckoo'n canu braf in nain tir. Daw Hyfryd fish, Mehefin cyn bo hir, a llaw hir a cuckoo'n canu braf in nain tir, braf in nain tir, braf in nain tir, cuckoo, cuckoo, cuckoo'n canu braf in nain tir. Short and sweet.
Oh, that was great.
Thanks, Alison. Good to hear that cuckoos say cuckoo in Welsh as well, because sometimes animals say a completely different thing in a different language, and it's very disconcerting. Okay, it's time now for Steve and his saw and his rabbit, followed by a martingale.
Well, I'm going to sing you a song about a man who's lost his dog, which is really sad. I can really sympathise. surprised. I've never had a dog, but if I ever lost my rabbit, I'd be really heartbroken. This came off an old 78 record by Teddy Lawrence, which was recorded in 1900. I just lost my little dog, it's made me feel quite sad, 'cause that and my little pussycat were the only friends I had. He was a Pomeranian, a one night in the street. I let him loose and he ran like mad, 'cause someone shouted meat. Has anyone seen my Pom? Pom tiddly-um-pom, pom-pom, ran away. I don't know why, didn't stop a minute to say goodbye. Got no collar round his neck to show where he came from. Has anyone seen my Pom tiddly-um-pom, pom-pom? Thoroughbred, I looked on him with pride, 'cause he's been with me and the family since the day Lord Nelson died. Yet I fancy he'll come back, though I can't tell you why. Perhaps one day he'll turn up in a steak and kidney pie. Has anyone seen my Pom? Pom tiddly-um-pom, pom-pom, ran away. I don't know why, didn't stop a minute to say goodbye. But I've got his pedigree to show where he came from. Has anyone seen my Pom tiddly-um-pom, pom-pom? Legs are twisted and his knees. He's got no ears and his tail's from the way the dog's old. And if you ask how old he is, I get in such a fix, 'cause he was in the fire of London 1666. Has anyone seen my Pom? Pom tiddly-um-pom, pom-pom, ran away. I don't know why, didn't stop a minute to say goodbye. You would think that on his tail someone had tied a bomb. Has anyone seen my Pom tiddly-um-pom, pom-pom? Has anyone seen my Pom? Pom tiddly-um-pom, pom-pom, ran away. I don't know why, didn't stop a minute to say goodbye. Perhaps he's gone to Brighton with old Bonzo on the prom. Has anyone seen my Pom tiddly-um-pom, pom-pom?
Great stuff, Steve.
Never came back.
The one-man band is Steve and his saw, but without his saw. Anyway, sometimes we hear his saw. Okay, time now for Martin Nail, and then over to Riggy Rackin.
Oh, where are you going, says Nelda to Mulder. Oh, we may not tell you, says Faisal to Foes. We're going to the greenwood, says John the Red-Nosed. We're going to the greenwood, says John the Red-Nosed. And what will you do there, says Milder to Moulder. Oh, we may not tell you, says Fassel to Foes. We'll hunt the Cutty wren, says John the Red-Nosed. We'll hunt the Cutty wren, says John the Red-Nosed. And how will you kill her, says Milder to Moulder. Oh, we may not tell you, says Fassel to Foes. With bows and with arrows, says John the Red-Nosed. With bows and with arrows, says John the Red-Nosed. Oh, that will not do, says Milder to Moulder. Oh, what will do then, says Fassel to Foes. Great guns and great cannon, says John the Red-Nosed. Great guns and great cannon, says John the Red-Nosed. And how will you carry her, says Milder to Moulder. Oh, we may not tell you, says Fassel to Foes. On 4 strong men's shoulders, says John the Red-Nosed. On 4 strong men's shoulders, says John the Red-Nosed. Oh, that will not do, says Milder to Moulder. Oh, what will do then, says Fassel to Foes. Great carts and great wagons, says John the Red-Nosed. Great carts and great wagons, says John the Red-Nosed. And how will you cart her, says Milder to Moulder. Oh, we may not tell you, says Fassel to Foes. With knives and with forks, says John the Red-Nosed. With knives and with forks, says John the Red-Nosed. Oh, that will not do, says Milder to Moulder. Oh, what will do then, says Fassel to Foes. Great hatchets and cleavers, says John the Red-Nosed. Great hatchets and cleavers, says John the Red-Nosed. And how will you cook her, says Milder to Moulder. Oh, we may not tell you, says Fassel to Foes. In pots and in pans, says John the Red-Nosed. In pots and in pans, says John the Red-Nosed. Oh, that will not do, says Milder to Moulder. Oh, what will do then, says Fassel to Foes. In bloody great brass cauldrons, says John the Red-Nosed. In bloody great brass cauldrons, says John the Red-Nosed. And who'll get the spare rib, says Milder to Moulder. Oh, we may not tell you, says Fassel to Foes. We'll give 'em all to the poor, says John the Red-Nosed. We'll give 'em all to the poor, says John the Red-Nosed.
Yes.
Cutty wren.
There's nothing if not ambition in that song, I have to say. That don't seem overly likely. Anyway, Riggy, over to you. Thanks very much to Martin. Time for Riggy, and then Tim Radford, please.
Okay. So in England, you had music hall. And in America, we had, what was it called?
Vaudeville.
Vaudeville. Thank you very much, Sheila. Vaudeville. And in Ireland, they had panto. So this is a panto song to a very familiar dance tune from all over the world. Oh, my name is Paddy Leary. I was born in Tipperary. In the hearts of all the ladies there I am a thorn in. Come the break of morning, it's they who'll be forlorn, and for I'm off to California in the morning. With me bundle on my shoulder, faith is no man could be bolder, though leaving dear old Ireland without warning. For I've lately took the notion for to sail a briny ocean, and I'm off to California in the morning. There's a girl named Kate Malone who I hope to call my own. Have children on her cabin floor adorning. My heart is sad and weary. How can she be Mrs. Leary if I start for California in the morning? With my bundle on my shoulder, fat as no man could be bolder, I'm leaving dear old Ireland without warning. For I've lately took the notion for to sail a briny ocean, and I'm off to California in the morning. When they told me I must leave this place, I tried to keep a cheerful face to show my heart's deep sorrow I'm scorning. But years will surely blind me, but friends I'll leave behind me, for I'm off to California in the morning. With my bundle on my shoulder, there's no man could be bolder, though I'm leaving dear old Ireland without warning. For I've lately took the notion for to sail a briny ocean, and I'm off to California in the morning. Oh, my name is Patty Leary, I was born in Tipperary. In the hearts of all the ladies there I am a thorn in. Come the break of morning, and then you'll be forlorn, for I'm off to California in the morning. Off to California.
Yeah. Wonderful stuff, Riggy.
It helps if you're in California in the first place, obviously. Okay, Tim Radford is next, and then Clive Wolfe.
Good afternoon, everyone. Trying to keep up with all these birthdays is difficult. I'm not going to sing anybody's song that's got a birthday this week. It's my son's birthday today. My wife shares a birthday with Martin Carthy, and Dylan, I don't know who he shares a birthday with. Anyway, like last week, I'm going to sing an American ballad. This one is a version of Child 68, collected from Frank Proffitt by the Warner family. It's called The Song of the Lost Hunter, or Poor Henry, although I call it Pitch Black. Pitch black was the night, as black as could be. Lost from his hunting was poor Henry. Sorry, the phone rang right next to my ear in the middle of that, so I'm going to start again if you don't mind. Pitch black was the night, black as could be. Lost from his hunting was poor Henry. His true love was waiting, tearing her hair, waiting to see her love oh so fair, waiting to see her love oh so fair. I'm going to change the key. Who rides on this land at such an hour? Who is it she did say? It's only I ride at such an hour. So says my love Henry. So says my love Henry. Come down, my own Henry, and stay this night with me. My bed is made all soft and warm, and just for you and me, and just for you and me. I cannot come down, I will not get down, although your words beguile me sore. I have a true love in old Scotland, I wish I could see once more. I wish to see once more. I will not let you leave my land, from me you'll never part. Out of her bosom she drew a penknife, and she stabbed him to the heart, and she stabbed him to the heart. Come to me, my servant man, come unto me, I pray. There is a dead man in my bed, let's hide him well away. Let's hide him well away. She grabbed him by his yellow hair, she grabbed him by the feet. They threw him down beneath the ground in a hole so dark and deep, in a hole so dark and deep. What is the hour, my servant man? It is the hour of 3. The chickens are crowing for the middle of the night, and the blood of poor Henry, and the blood of poor Henry. Come to my bed, my servant man, and sleep this night with me. My bed is made of the softest silk, and it awaits for thee, and it awaits for thee. I will not lay upon your bed, for this can never be, for I am afraid my blood will run like the blood of poor Henry, like the blood of poor Henry. Pitch black with interruptions.
Great stuff.
Well sung. Very good, great version.
Cracking ballad, Tim. Thanks for that. Clive Wolfe is next, and I'll sing after Clive. Are you there, Clive? Because if you are, we can't hear you yet.
You need to unmute him, Amanda.
Where is he? James, if you can find Clive before me.
I can't find me. I'm still here.
Excellent.
You can hear me.
I can hear you now, yeah.
Great. Great. I will tell you now the reason last night that I came here. 'Twas in order to obtain the love of you, my dear. For above all the fair maids like you I fancy few, and that is the very reason that I gave my love to you. No Paris June or Venus can equal your sweet voice. But if I had my way to choose, of you I'd make my choice. Your bright celestial charms, my senses as bereft. One kiss from you, my darling, wouldn't heal the wounds you gave. You say you are of noble birth, and I am of low degree. But I am of old Adam's seed, my love as well as thee. You said I had no fortune, you slighted me therefore, but I have what God provided, and I know that you have no more. I will march unto Mount Horeb, where Abraham slew the lamb, and from there unto Mount Ararat, where Noah's Ark did stand. I ne'er will stop for roving, while I can wed and reshoe for you like a loyal lover, my dear, I'll mourn for you.
I'll do that.
Lovely stuff, Clive. Thank you. So I'll sing now, and then if Maggie and Pete could be ready to follow me, that would be fantastic. Last week I sang something utterly miserable. This is it's still fairly miserable, but it doesn't seem that way. So it's a bit of an improvement from the music hall tradition. I was poor, but I was honest, though I came from humble stock, and an honest heart was beating underneath my tattered frock. Heedless of my mother's warnings, up to London I had come, yearning for the bright lights gleaming, heedless of temptation. But the rich man saw my beauty, I knew not his base design, and he took me to an hotel and poured me a small port wine. In the rich man's arms I fluttered like a bird with a broken wing. But he loved me and he left me. Now I hasn't got no ring. It's the same the whole world over. It's the poor what gets the blame. It's the rich what gets the pleasure. Ain't it all a bloomin' shame? Time has passed, outcast and helpless, in the streets I stands and says, while the snowflakes fall around me, won't you buy my bootlaces? See him riding in his carriage past the gutter where I stands. He has made a stylish marriage while I wrings my ringless hands. It's the same the whole world over. It's the poor what gets the blame. It's the rich what gets the pleasure. Ain't it all a bloomin' shame? See me on the bridge at midnight, saying farewell, oh blighted love. There's a scream, a splash, good heavens, what was I a-doing of? So they dragged me from the river, water from my clothes they wrung. They all thought I was a-drownded, but my corpse got up and sung. It's the same the whole world over. It's the poor what gets the blame. It's the rich what gets the pleasure. Ain't it all a bloomin' shame?
Yeah.
Wow, that was
That's silly.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Nothing like a bit of sentiment of an evening, is there? So,
Yeah.
Maggie and Pete, it's over to you. And then could we hear from John White, please?
Are unmuted. Oh wow, follow that. And we have some proper miserable misery. So you know what? I'm not going to bother with this because I can't get Amanda's tune out of my head now anyway. I first came to London in the famous hot summer of 1976 and got some temp work in an office, stuffing envelopes, and among a few waifs and strays, there was a very old man who was pointed out to me as a veteran of EAP, which I now realize was shorthand for show him some respect, but being young and very foolish, I said, oh, really? What was that like? And he told me some. It was a very good history lesson and he spared me the really horrible stuff, but it was just shite and miserable and relentless. And so this is pretty much what he said. The geezer's older than he looks. They pay his pension out off the books. For 86 he's doing well. I bet he's got some tales to tell. They say that you were there at EAP. Fair, spare a story for us to keep. Tell us about it, please, old Bill. What did you see? Did you run? Did you kill? The tide sweeps sand out to the sea, and time will do for you and me. You must be mad to want to know. It wasn't a bloody picture show. There was mud, and mud was everywhere. Mud in your clothes, in your food, in your hair. We was cold and scared and hungry too. Is that a good enough story for you? The tide sweeps sand out to the sea, and time will do for you and me. We was lousy as cuckoos, everyone, every bloomin' mother's son. Some of the lads, they scratched says sore, they got disease from the fleas instead of the whores. We knew we could go, we knew the score. What a hell of a way to die in a war. The tide sweeps sand out to the sea, and time will do for you and me. It was the horses I felt sorry for. They never signed up for no bloody war. They put wooden boards down in the muck for them to climb out of it when they was stuck. Some of them got shot and some lads did too. When your number's up, it's time for you. The tide sweeps sand out to the sea, and time will do for you and me. The Salvation Army gets the brunt from jokers now, but they was there at the front with coffee and donuts for the lads. That's what you remember when times was so bad. Coffee and donuts from the Sally Ann meant a lot to a cold young man. The tide sweeps sand out to the sea, and time will do for you and me. Old Bill is gone, he's taken his story. He and the horses wear wings and glory. They'll rise like Pegasus from the mire to coffee and donuts, not blood and fire. They'll rise like Pegasus from the mire to coffee and donuts, not blood and fire. The tide sweeps sand out to the sea, and time will do for you and me.
Lovely stuff. Okay, John White, it is up to you to take the floor. James, if you wouldn't mind unmuting John, if you can find him, possibly going by the pseudonym of Alan White.
Could someone do it for me?
Ah, we've got you there, John. You'll be good to go. And Sheila Miller, could you follow John, please?
Right, this is a little song from the music halls, rather an unusual one. And just a thought about one of the words in the chorus when the fellow says to the girl he wants to propose to, since they've raised my trying to quote the line. Since they've raised my screw, love, I've got enough for two, love. By which he's talking about having a rise in his wages. And it was called screw in the old days because when people were paid in coins, and you got your coins in a little screw of paper. And since the word has changed its meaning a lot in modern times, I thought I'd better just do that bit of explanation. Anyway, here we go. Joe was in love with Miss Mabel, and Dame Rumour said he was anxious to wed, but somehow he never seemed able to speak when his loved one was nigh. He'd blush like a rose when he met her, and over each word he would stammer absurd, till one day in form of a letter he thought for her heart he'd apply. So straightway he wrote this business like note. Darling Mabel, now I'm able to buy the happy home. Since they've raised my screw, love, I've enough for two, love. Will you marry? Do not tarry. Answer yes or no. I conclude with love and kisses, yours forever, Joe. Joe, for his sweet Mabel's answer, would wait on the mat for the postman's rat-tat, and wonder if she'd say, I can't, sir, or promise to be his own wife. He waited 6 months and got thinner. He'd stop and he'd sigh and he'd pipe his blue eye, went without breakfast and dinner. In fact, he got tired of his life. In dreams he would quote that letter he wrote. Darling Mabel, now I'm able to buy the happy home. Since they've raised my screw, love, I've enough for two, love. Will you marry? Do not tarry. Answer yes or no. I conclude with love and kisses, yours forever, Joe. The sequel I haste to be stating, for truth for to tell, Mabel loved him quite well. Then why did she keep the chap waiting? The answer's as plain as can be. His life, he determined to end it. When in his old coat he discovered the note. Somehow he'd forgotten to send it. He rushed off to Mabel with glee. Their wedding's today. He found pluck to say, darling Mabel, now I'm able to buy the happy home. Since they've raised my screw, love, I've enough for two, love. Will you marry? Do not tarry. Answer yes or no. I conclude with love and kisses, yours forever, Joe. Darling Mabel.
Oh, lovely. Hey.
There's a romantic story for you.
Great song.
That's one of my favourites of yours, John. Thank you. Okay, over now to Sheila, and then could we have James Eagle, please?
In real life, I mean in normal times, I'd sing a lot of ballads, but I haven't actually been singing ballads much on Zoom. I find it harder to sing on Zoom than, you know, in a real place. So anyway, this is the shortest ballad I know. Well, it's not the shortest one I know. It's the shortest ballad I sing. Learned from various people, including Chris Miles, this great singer from the Kingdom of Fife, which isn't a kingdom any longer, of course. I know I have to start this low. High upon Helan's and lay upon Tay, bonny George Campbell rade out on a day, saddled and bridled, sae gallant rade he, hame come his good horse, but never come he. Saddled and bridled and booted rade he, a plume to his helmet, a sword at his knee. Toom cam his saddle, all bloody to see. Hame cam his good horse, but never come he. Would come his old mother, greeting fu sair, doon come his bonny wife, reaving her hair. My meadows lie green, and my corn is unshorn, my barn is yet to beg, and my baby's unborn. High upon Helan's and lay upon Tay, bonny George Campbell rade out on a day, saddled and bridled, sae gallant rade he, hame come his good horse, but never come he. That's it. As I said.
Nice one, Sheila. Okay, let's have James Eagle next, and then Caroline Stupniska.
Righto, we've had a lot of Dylan. It's Martin Carthy's 80th birthday on Friday. Unfortunately, I don't know any of his songs somehow, but I do know a song that mentions him, so I'll do that instead. If I was an Englishman, I'd sing and dance and play. I'd dig out all the old ones and beseech you heed their say. Their visions of a better life in a land as bright as day. I'd do my William Morris dance and I'd be on my way. I'd do my William Morris dance and I'd be on my way. And if I was an Englishman, I'd sing and dance all night. I'd sing a song of Thomas Paine, of darkness and of light. I'd fire my favourite candles up, old Hobden and old Bright. I'd do my Stanley Spencer dance and exit to the right. I'd do my Harold Pinter dance and exit to the right. And if I was an Englishman, I'd raise my voice and sing. I'd enter in the House of Lords and make the rafters ring. I'd sing to all those noblemen of cabbages and kings. I'd do my Arthur Mullard dance and turf them in the bin. I'd do my Norman Wisdom dance and turf them in the bin. And if I was an Englishman, I'd sing and dance and play. I'd dig out all the old ones and beseech you heed their say. Their visions of a better life in a land as bright as day. I'd do my William Morris dance and I'd be on my way. I'd do my Martin Carthy dance and I'd be on my way.
Yay! Hurrah for Michael Mara. Great song. I've only ever heard Michael himself sing that. Well done, James.
Thanks, James. As James is on his way, Caroline arrives. So over to you, Caroline, and then Kathy Dent to close the first half, please.
Hi everyone. I haven't really got a link to anything. It's just a song I've learned recently, so I've been singing it everywhere. So apologies if you've heard me sing it recently. Oh, my name is Alice White, I'll have you all to know. I left my father's farm a long time ago. My mother called me a silly lass, said I'd live to rue the day when I followed on the heels of the navvies. My first man, Dandy Jack, he was handsome, young and fine. We travelled throughout England as we trudged from line to line. We lived in shanty houses, had lodgers and children 3, as I worked to fill the needs of the navvies. When Dandy Jack was killed beneath a fall of stone, I wept and cursed the day that ever I was born. But my children needed feeding, and many men looked at me, so I jumped the brush to stay with the navvies. Time came I was deserted when my children numbered 5, so I had to take another man to keep us all alive. I've had so many men, they called me Alice Free, as I lived my life away with the navvies. And now I'm getting old and grey before my time, with the working and childbearing as we trudged from line to line. I often think of poor Dandy Jack, lying so cold in his grave. He's the only one I loved of the navvies. Alice White.
Awesome.
Nicely done, Caroline. Okay, Kathy Dent, it is over to you now to close the first half, and after Kathy we'll have parish notices, so if you have any announcements, please get them ready. Okay, Kathy, over to you.
There we go, unmuted. Right, Alison was moving on to June, but I'm still staying with May, as I've still got a May song to sing. Remember us, for May is here. Now we do begin to lead our lives in righteousness, for fear we should die in sin. For to die in sin is a very sad thing, to go where sinners mourn. It would have been better for our poor souls if we had never been born. Now step into your dairy, maids, and fetch a cup of cream. If not a cup of your cold cream, then a jug of your brown beer. Well, I have a purse, a pretty little purse. It draws with a silken string, and all it wants is a little silver to line it well within. Our song has begun and is almost done. We can no longer stay. So heaven bless you all, both great and small, and we wish you a joyful May. Thank you very much.
Robert Burns. So, Amanda, I hope you don't mind my faux Scottish accent. When Rosy May comes in with flowers to deck her gay green spread in bowers, then busy are his hours, the gardener with his pail. The crystal waters gently fall, the merry birds are lovers all. The scented breezes round him blow, the gardener with his pail. When purple morn starts the hair to steal upon her early fair, and through the dews he mourns repair, the gardener with his pail. The crystal waters gently fall, the merry birds are lovers all. The scented breezes round him blow, the gardener with his pail. When day expiring in the west, the curtain draws on nature's rest. He flies to arms he loves the best, the gardener with his pail. The crystal waters gently fall, the merry birds are lovers all. The scented breezes round him blow, the gardener with his pail. When Rosy May comes in with flowers to deck her gay green spread in bowers, busy are his hours, the gardener with his pail. The crystal waters gently fall, the merry birds are lovers all. Send breezes round him blow, the gardener with his pail. The crystal waters gently fall, the merry birds are lovers all. The scented breezes round him blow, the gardener with his pail.
Thanks, Graham. Always good to hear Burns, and although not entirely authentic, your accent was nevertheless not disturbing, which is a good thing.
Thank you.
Because they can be sometimes. Okay, over now to Mara, and after Mara, could we hear from Stacey Roth, please?
Hi, everybody. Hang on one second. I'm going to do a Gordon Lightfoot song called Bitter Green, and it is recorded with my friend's gathering time that will give you guys some idea. Now I've just enabled the original sound, which means it's going to be lower for you, so you can all turn up your own volumes. That would probably be good, because I can't do much once I do that. Here we go. Upon the bitter green she walked, the hills above the town echo to her footsteps as soft as eider down, waiting for her master to kiss away her tears, waiting through the years. Bitter green they called her, walking in the sun, loving everyone that she met. Bitter green they called her, waiting in the sun, waiting for someone to take her home. Some say he was a sailor who died away at sea. Some say he was a prisoner who never was set free. Lost upon the ocean, he died there in the mist, dreaming of her kiss. Bitter green they called her, walking in the sun, loving everyone that she met. Bitter green they called her, waiting in the sun, waiting for someone to take her home. A weary stranger, his tears fall in the dust, kneeling by the churchyard in the autumn mist, dreaming of her kiss. Bitter green they called her, walking in the sun, loving everyone that she met. Bitter green they called her, waiting in the sun, waiting for someone to take her home. Bitter green. That was Bitter Green by Gordon Lightfoot. Idea of how we would sound together live.
Hopefully that day will come.
Okay, on Concert Sunday you'll get to see that.
Okay, thanks Mara, lovely stuff. And over now to Stacey, followed by Paddy Hannon.
All right. Well, good afternoon, everyone. Since it's May, I'm going to sing a ballad that was written in December. In December of 1776, a little bit after the start of the American Revolution. And this ballad was actually written by a Briton, anonymous, by under the name of M, so we don't know who wrote it. And the song is called To the Commons. It appeared in the Middlesex Journal and Evening Advertiser in December of 1776, and warned the Commons, House of Commons, that perhaps it would be a good idea to recall their ships and their troops from their American Britain brethren in the colonies. And those of you who are Morris dancers may recognize this tune. I've set it to William and Nancy. With Christmas mirth and Christmas cheer, my friends, pray look not glummer. With turkey chine and beef and beer, you're surely in good humour. The folks on t'other side the wave have beef as well as you, sirs. Some chines and turkeys too they have, and as they bake they brew, sirs. What though your cannon raze their towns and tumble down their houses? They'll fight like devils, blood and oons, for children and for spouses. Another troth, nay, 'tis no boast, nor yet the lie of the day, sirs. The saints on Massachusetts coast gain if they run away, sirs. For further than your bullets fly, a common man may run, sirs, and wheat will grow beneath the sky where cannot reach a gun, sirs. Then what are ships and swords and guns and men of bloody minds, sirs? While Parthian-like, who conquers runs, who loses stays behind, sirs. Then rise, my men, in merry mood, vote nem contra dissente, that 5 and 5 for 10 are good, and 10 and 10 make 20. Recall your ships, your troops recall, let friends each other nourish, and shall old England rule the ball, and George and freedom flourish. The folks on t'other side the wave have beef as well as you, sirs. Some chines and turkeys too they have, and as they bake they brew, sirs. To the Commons.
Splendid.
Well done, Stacey. Thanks for bringing that. Over now to Paddy, and after Paddy, could we have Deirdre, please?
Well, I thought I'd have another crack at the thing that I failed miserably last week to do when my Wi-Fi let me down. It's called Lloyd George. It's about the introduction of the old age pension, and it was written first as a poem round about the time of 1909. And was later put to music. Anyway, here it goes. Well, I'd walk from here to Skipton, 10 miles of Clarty Lane, if I could see him face to face and thank him for his pain. For he took me out at workhouse and they give me life that's free. 5 shillings a week for cheating death, that's what Lloyd George give me. Well, he give me leet and firing, and flour to bake me bread, and tea to mash me every meal, and sup until I'm dead. And I've naught to do but thank him, and make a cross with pen. 5 shillings a week, but nought but that, he's the best of men. 'Cause he took me out at workhouse, and he gave me life that's free. 5 shillings a week for cheating death, that's what Lloyd George give me. Well, I don't know much about politics, but I do love that lord, for he spends his money like a king when other folks is lowered. And I know lots of fellas who are past the 70th year, Lloyd George he addles brass for them to buy a sup of beer. 'Cause he took me out at workhouse and he give me life that's free. 5 shillings a week for cheating death, that's what Lloyd George gives me. Well, if my old man were here today, he'd say that I spoke true, though he'd never liked them Liberal lot, and he allus voted blue. But Parson's wife, she'd tell me that soon we're going to poll. Well, I hope she's right, I'll vote for him with all my heart and soul. 'Cause he took me out at workhouse and he gave me life that's free. 5 shillings a week for cheating death, that's what Lloyd George give me. Well, I don't know where he come from, happen it's down Leeds way. For every night and morning for his long life I'll pray. 'Cause he took me out at workhouse and he give me life that's free. 5 shillings a week for cheating death, that's what Lloyd George give me. Lloyd George.
Yay! Well sung.
I think I heard it from Tony Chapstick.
Haven't heard that for a long time.
Well, I'm glad we got to hear that in its entirety this week, because last week was a disappointment. Thanks, Paddy. Okay, over to Deirdre now, and then something from Marty Stock.
I don't have any common theme song. I just found something in one of my books that I haven't sung in years. I have seen snow that fell in May. I have seen rain on cloudless days. Some things are always bound to change. There ain't no ash will burn, for love is a precious thing, I'm told. It burns just like West Virginia coal. But when the fire goes out, it's cold. There ain't no ash will burn. You say this life is not your lot. Well, I can't be something that I'm not. We can't stoke a fire that we ain't got. There ain't no ash will burn, for love is a precious thing, I'm told. It burns just like West Virginia coal. But when the fire goes out, it's cold. There ain't no ash will burn. In every life there comes a time when there are no more tears to cry. We must leave something dear behind. There ain't no ash will burn. Love is a precious thing, I'm told. It burns just like West Virginia coal. But when the fire goes out, it's cold. There ain't no ash will burn. There is a lesson I have learned. There ain't no ash will burn.
Yes, great song. Well sung.
Amazing song, thank you. Okay, over now to Marty and then Gwyneth, please.
Okay. Let me know if there's any static. This is a New English sea song that bemoans that the life of a sailor doesn't quite mesh with domestic life. Begins, the ways of man are passing strange. He buys his freedom and he counts his change. Then he lets the wind his days arrange and he calls the tide his master. The ways of man are passing strange. He buys his freedom and he counts his change. Then he lets the wind his days arrange and he calls the tide his master. Oh, the days, oh, the days, oh, the fine long summer days. The fish come rolling in the bays, and he swore he'd never leave me. But the days grow short and the year gets old. The fish won't stay where the water's cold. And if you're going to fill the hold, you gotta go offshore to find them. Oh, the days, oh, the days, oh, you fine long summer days. The fish come rolling in the bays, and he swore he'd never leave me. So they go outside on the raging deep. They pray the Lord their soul to keep. But the waves will rock them all to sleep, and the tide will be their keeper. Oh, the days, oh, the days, oh, you fine long summer days. The fish come rolling in the bays, and he swore he'd never leave me. Oh, the tide, oh, the tide, oh, you dark and you bitter tide. If I can't have him by my side, I guess I'll have to leave him. I gave you one, I gave you two, the best that poor old boat could do. You'd have it all before you're through. Well, I've got no more to give you. Oh, the days, oh, the days, oh, you fine long summer days. The fish come rolling in the bays, and he swore he'd never leave me. Oh, the tide, oh, the tide, oh, you dark and you bitter tide. I can't have him by my side. The water's welcome to him. Oh, the days, oh, the days, oh, you fine long summer days. The fish come rolling in the bays, and he swore he'd never leave me. Oh, Lord, I know that the day will come when one last boat comes slogging home. I don't mind knowing that he'll be the one, but I can't spend my whole life praying. Oh, the days, oh, the days, oh, you fine long summer days. The fish come rolling in the bays, and he swore he'd never leave me. The ways of man are passing strange. He buys his freedom and he counts his change. Then he lets the wind his days arrange, and he calls the tide his master.
Well sung.
Great stuff, Marty, and no interference this week. Okay, it's time now for Gwyneth Try, and after Gwyneth, could we have Kate Portal?
I'm going to sing one of the first songs I ever learnt to sing in a folk club, and I learnt it from Steel Ice Man. One misty, moisty morning when cloudy was the weather, I met with an old man, clothed all in leather. He was clothed all in leather, with a cap beneath his chin, singing how-de-do and how-de-do and how-de-do again. This rustic was a thresher, as on his way he hied, and with a leather bottle fast buckled by his side. He wore no shirt upon his back, but wool unto his skin, singing how-de-do and how-de-do and how-de-do again. I went a little further, and there I met a maid, a-going, a-milking, sir, she said. Then I began to compliment, and she began to sing, singing how-de-do and how-de-do and how-de-do again. This maid, her name was Dolly, clothed in a gown of grey. I, being somewhat jolly, persuaded her to stay, and straight I fell a-courting her, in hopes her love to win, singing howdy-do, and howdy-do, and howdy-do again. I having time and leisure, I spent a vacant hour, a-telling of my treasure, was sitting in the bower. With many kind embraces, I stroked her double chin, singing howdy-do, and howdy-do, and howdy-do again. I said that I would married be, and she would be my bride, and long we should not tarry, and 20 things beside. I'll plough and sow and reap and mow, and you shall sit and spin, singing howdy-do, and howdy-do, and howdy-do again. Her parents then consented, all parties were agreed, her portion 30 shillings, we married were with speed. Then will the piper he did play, whilst others danced and sing, saying howdy-do, and howdy-do, and howdy-do again. Then lusty Ralph and Robin, with many damsels gay, did ride on roan and dobbin, to celebrate the day. And when they met together, their caps they oft did fling, singing howdy-do, and howdy-do, and howdy-do again. Thank you.
Yeah.
Lovely.
I was about to crack a terrible joke and say, nice try. Yeah, but obviously I wouldn't do that. Okay. Thanks, Gwyneth. You've probably had it before. Kate Portal is next, and then Mary Hogan, please. Can't hear you yet, Kate. Aha.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, yes.
Oh, great. Okay. Well, with all the terrible things that have been going on, there's only one song I feel I can really sing at the minute, and it's by Anne Gregson, and it goes, and many people have heard me sing it before, and from all the mountains will come the melody, and from all the valleys pour forth a song. Oh dear, well, I've forgotten the chorus. From all the mountains will come the melody, and from all the valleys pour forth a song. All creation will lift their voices from the lands and waters, all in harmony. When all the... Oh, dear me, what's happened to me? When all the forests are like a garden, and when all the forests bloom unharmed, when every river will shine as clear as crystal, then our song will flourish, all in harmony. From all the mountains will come the melody, and from all the valleys pour forth a song. All creation will lift their voices from the lands and waters, all in harmony. When there's no leader of any nation who will not yield to the call to protect the earth and all its creatures, then our song will flourish, all in harmony. From all the mountains will come the melody, and from all the valleys pour forth a song. All creation will lift their voices from the lands and waters, all in harmony. Oh, tell your children a different story, not to praise those heroes of war, not to fight for a nation's glory, but for peace and fellowship, all in harmony. From all the mountains will come the melody, and from all the valleys pour forth a song. All creation will lift their voices from the lands and waters, all in harmony. When all the countries give up their boundaries, and when all the soldiers lay down their arms, when all the nations have joined together, then our song will flourish, all in harmony. And from all the mountains will come the melody, and from all the valleys pour forth a song. All creation will lift their voices from the lands and waters, all in harmony.
Amen, Kate.
Well done, Kate. Well done, Kate.
Harmony is what we need, Kate, in lots of different ways. So thanks for that. Okay, Mary Hogan is next, and then we'll have another try in the form of Tamsin.
Hi. Yeah, earlier on Tara sang about places to go in COVID and about the COVID blues and walking on the beach and swimming in the sea. In London, people have really valued their green spaces, and I'm going to sing a song that I wrote about one of these green spaces. It's very hidden. It's called Railway Fields, and it's a nature park. So the earth and all its creatures are well cared for there. Those of you who live in North London will be familiar with the New River, but those of you who don't, well, the New River is neither old nor a river. It gets mentioned in the song a lot. It's an aqueduct that was built in 1413, and it's still beautiful, and its water still help to relieve the thirst of Londoners. Okay, so the song is called the Railway Fields Song, and I put it to an Irish tune. Oh, you won't won't believe your ears and you won't believe your eyes. Wheela, wheela, wall, yeah. When you climb down the ladder from the Hornsey Rise, down by the old New River, alongside the railway tracks, the bridge and the trains. Wheela, wheela, wall, yeah. You'll find a green lane off Green Lanes, down by the old New River. The birds will be singing there strong and sweet. Wheela, wheela, wall, yeah, 'cause the clever little fellas have enough to eat. Down by the old New River, there's frogs and bats and funny fungi, and blackberries in autumn time to make into a pie. There's kingfisher and grasshopper and 7 kinds of bee, and the name of the place is Railway Fields. There's woodland and a meadow and a pond right here. Wheela, wheela, wall, yeah, where worries and troubles have been known to disappear. Down by the old New River. There's a small white van, a container painted green, and Keith and Jamie and Claire can be seen. On Tuesdays and on Thursdays they'll be loading up the van with every kind of conservation tool that's known to man. There's loppers and there's slashers and there's spades and saws. Wheela, wheela, wall, yeah. There's goggles and there's mattocks and there's God only knows. Down by the old New River. With flasks of boiling water and a crate full of cups and biscuits and bananas, you may wonder what's up. If you think that it's a picnic, I would have to tell you no, 'cause the conservation volunteers go out in rain and snow. Oh, you won't believe your ears and you won't believe your eyes. Wheela, wheela, wall, yeah, when you climb down the ladder from the Hornsey Rise, down by the old New River. Gospel oak to barking makes a merry sound. Freight trains carry motor cars, turn the wrong way round. Tate and Lyle containers, sweet as they can be. Poetry in motion is Railway Fields, is lovely Railway Fields. Jeanne.
Lovely.
Well done, Mary. Great stuff. Okay, Tamsin, I won't inflict my dreadful joke on you again, so it's over to you, followed by Pal Carter.
Okay, this is a song which I believe was collected by the Copper family, called Butter and Cheese and All. What a pity it is to tease me or try me for to sing, when it does not lay in my path for to do any such thing. But since that you must tease me so, I'll try what I can do. And when I come to the chorus, why you must bawl out too, why you must bawl out too. It's of a cook I fell in love, and the truth I don't deny. For why a cook should have my choice, I'll tell you the reason why. Because she has plenty of mince pies, plum pudding and roast beef. And when my belly was empty, she granted me relief. She granted me relief. She sent me an invitation, some supper for to take. I kindly did accept it all for my belly's sake. And after supper was over, off the cupboard I got the keys. One pocket I crammed with butter, and the other I stuffed with cheese. The other I stuffed with cheese. And supper being over, a half an hour or more, and the master, smelling of my cheese, came knocking at the door. And I, not knowing where to go up the chimney, I did hide. And there I sat quite at my ease, like a sweep exalted high, like a sweep exalted high. I had not been long there sitting at my ease, when the fire began to melt my butter, likewise to toast my cheese. And every drop that fell in the fire, it caused the fire to flare. And the old man looked up the chimney, and he swore that Satan was there. He swore that Satan was there. Well, up to the chimney top he got, and down some water poured, and I came tumbling after, butter and cheese and all. Well, I'm safe down from the chimney now, with a smart and a greasy face, And out of the street door I nimbly ran, and down the street I was chased, and down the street I was chased. The dogs did bark, the children screamed, up flew the windows all, and every soul cried out, well done, as loud as they could bawl. But I'm safe down, no, sorry. So I've made an end to my ditty, boys. I hope I haven't kept you long. So let's wish success to the chorus and sing another good song. We'll sing another good song. Sorry for messing that
up. On with gusto, no need to apologise. Thanks, Tamsin. Okay, over to Pal now, and after Pal, we will head towards Chris Lamb.
Okay, first time I heard this song not on anybody's album was by Clive Wolf many years ago. Once I had a sweetheart, and now I have none. Once I had a sweetheart, and now I have none. He's gone and he's left me. He's gone and he's left me. He's gone and left me in sorrow to mourn. Last night in sweet slumber I dreamed I did see. Last night in sweet slumber I dreamed I did see my own darling jewel, my own darling jewel, my own darling jewel, sat smiling at me. But when I awakened, I found it not so. But when I awakened, I found it not so. My eyes like some fountain, my eyes like some fountain, my eyes like some fountain with tears overflow. I'll travel through England, through France and through Spain. I'll travel through England, through France and through Spain. My life I will venture, my life I will venture, my life I will venture on the watery main. I'll set sails of silver and turn toward the sun. I'll set sails of silver and turn toward the sun. And my false love will weep, my false love will weep, and my false love will weep for me after I'm gone.
Lovely.
Beautiful stuff, Pal. Chris now, and then Tom Reed.
Okay, we've had a handful of songs by Bob Dylan this evening. This one is by another very fine songwriter and singer who had absolutely no time at all for Dylan, sadly, but I guess everybody has their blind spot. Out of the dirt and darkness I was born, go down. Out of the hard black cold face I was torn, go down. Kicked on the world and the earth split open, crawled to a crack where the rock was broken, burrowed a hole away in the coal, go down. In a cradle of coal in the darkness I was laid. Go down. Down in the dirt and darkness I was raised. Go down. Cut me teeth on a 5-foot timber, fill hold up the roof with my little finger, started me time away in the mine. Go down. On the day that I was born I was 6 foot tall. Go down. And the very next day I learnt the way to haul. Go down. On the 3rd day walked at board and pillar, worked on the 4th as a long wall filler, getting me steam up, hewing the seam. Go down. I'm the son of the son of the son of the collier's son. Go down. Coal dust runs in the veins where the blood should run. Go down. 5 steel ribs and an iron backbone, teeth that can bite through rock and black stone, working me time away in the mine. Go down. 300 years I hewed at the coal by hand. Go down. In the pits of Durham and East Northumberland. Go down. Been gassed and burned and blown asunder, buried more times than I can number, getting the coal away in the hole. Go down. I've scrabbled and picked at the face where the roof was low. Go down. Crawled in the seams where only a mole could go. Go down. In the thin-cut seams I've ripped and ritted, where even the rats are born bow-legged, winning the coal away in the hole. Go down. I've worked in the Hutton, the Plessy, the Brockwell seam. Go down. The Bencham, the Busty, the Beaumont, the Marshall Green. Go down. I've lain on me back in the old 3/4, up to the chin in stinking water, hewing the coal away in the hole. Go down. In the northern pits I've sweated and earned me pay. Go down. Toiled in the worn-out drift mines night and day. Go down. Where the anthracite is hard and shining, I've tried me hand at the hard rock mining. I dug me a hole away in the coal. Go down. Out of the dirt and darkness I was born. Go down. Out of the hard black coal face I was torn. Go down. Lived in the shade of the high pit heap. I'm still down there where the seams are deep, digging a hole away in the coal. Go down.
Oh, well done.
Nice one.
Thanks, Chris. That went down well. Okay, Tom Reed next, and then David Diamond.
Thank you, Amanda.
You're on mute. I don't know why.
Should be sorted now.
Should be okay now, yeah? Can you hear me?
Yes, yeah, that's good.
So instead of singing one of my own miserable ditties, I'm going to sing one by somebody else. This is by my favourite songwriter in the world, Mr. Eric Bogle. And it's called The Ballad of Claire Campbell. It's about an old lady in Sydney who was found dead in her flat, and she'd been dead for 9 months. I know, it's miserable, I warned you. It's written for 2 people, but I'm rather foolishly going to try and sing it on my own. Summer smiling on the city, another lovely day in Sydney. Sunshine pouring down like honey in a golden waterfall. but in the room where Claire is dying, no sunshine sends the shadows flying. No children gather round her crying. There's no one here at all, except perhaps for the man who sees each little sparrow fall. Don't talk to me about lonely souls crying, dark quiet rooms and old people dying. I don't want to hear, I don't want to hear it at all. Tired old people die alone every day. Don't blame me, I didn't make it that way. That's just how it is. Don't look for a reason in it all. Winter weeping on the city, a wet and windy day in Sydney. Raindrops rolling fat and heavy down Claire's window pane. The rain upon the tin roof beating disturbs the rats as they are feeding. Back to their nest they all go creeping, leaving Claire alone again. It's been a long and lonely time since Claire could feel the rain. Don't talk to me about the meaning of life. Don't sing your songs that cut like a knife. I don't want to hear, I don't want to hear it at all. Tired old people die alone every day. Don't blame me, I didn't make it that way. That's just how it is. Don't look for a reason in it all. Springtime's come at last to Sydney. Flowers are blooming in the city. In all their multicolored glory, they rise to greet the year. Memories in shame recalling, footsteps on the front porch falling, voices through the window calling, is anybody here? Claire Campbell's lost and lonely soul is a long, long way from here. Don't talk to me about life's seasons. Don't ask me for answers. Don't ask me for reasons. I don't want to hear, I don't want to hear it at all. From the moment we're born, we start to die. A man can go crazy if he keeps asking why. That's just how it is. Don't look for a reason in it all. Well, can't you understand what I'm trying to say? There must be a reason, there must be a way to make some sense of it, to try to find a reason for it all. From the moment we're born, we start to die. A man can go crazy if he keeps asking why. That's just how it is. Don't look for a reason in it all. Well, there must be a way. There must be a reason for it all. Mr. Eric Bogle.
Wow.
Great stuff, Tom.
Well, Tom, you sure know how to do misery, I can tell you that. Yeah, lots of plaudits in the chat there for you as well. David Diamond, you're on next, and after David, Declan Coyne.
Okay, is my microphone working?
It is indeed.
Oh, good. Nice. That's always a relief. Yeah. It always makes me nervous to sing a blues, largely because every time I sing any blues, it comes out completely differently than the last time. And the last time I sang this, it sounded not too bad. But here we go. I'll talk about it in the chat, where it came from. Down come Roberta, $100 in her hand. You know, down come Roberta, $100 in her hand. She said, good morning, Judge, I just come to fetch my man. Oh, well, the judge turned around and look where Roberta stood. You know that judge turned around and look where Roberta stood. Shook his head. No 100 Roberta, that won't do your man no good. Well, they brought me coffee. I believe they brought me tea. You know, they brought me coffee. Sometime they brought me tea. They brought me every little thing. They didn't bring no jailhouse key. Well, some got 6 months. Some got a solid year. Hear me talking to you, Bob. What made you stop by here? Well, some got 6 months. Some got a solid year. Yeah. Somebody run, tell Roberta. A man got lifetime here.
Wow.
Thanks, David. Always good to hear you doing a new style. Okay, Declan is next, and then we're in a run of Irish performers. So after Declan, let's have Racker.
Okay, I'm a bit shook after Tom Reed's rendition there. But, I did this a while back, and I got a premature round of applause. I didn't get to finish it. So don't be too keen with the round of applause tonight. Just for the record, I want to finish. It's Costello's Levant by John Keegan Casey. And you're going to like it, Amanda, because it's a dreary ballad. Along the plains of Mayo, the wild deer wanders free. The summer shines in glory, but shineth not for me. I feel no breeze at twilight, I see no light at dawn, but I'll sing a tune of sorrow for my darling one. The light is quenched forever now in proud MacDonald's hall. The harp songs hushed all lonely within its towers tall. The banshee to brown streams forevermore doth call, for my true love ne'er shall waken from her cold earth's heavy thrall. Along the plains of Mayo, the wild deer swiftly springs. Along the plains of Mayo, the hunting bugle rings. My gallant hand is restless, for my strong hand is on the rein, but his prancing hoof will never touch the hunting ground again. My sword is rusty in its sheath, that blade whose waving glance flashed dead to many a lion foe of brave and generous prance. The ribbon from my true love's neck twines round its hilt of gold, but the snowy hand that placed it there is pulseless now and cold. I rode with joy and gladness over heathy hill and plain. I rode with grief and madness on my homeward way again. For I saw the snow rocket tremble coldly in the night, and my heart grew dark as rain clouds when the stars refuse their light. I wear within my doublet a bright white lock of her hair that she gave me when we parted from her tresses curling fair. 'Tis all I have to soothe my woe within the coming years. 'Tis all I have to bear away the traces of my tears. Oh, bring me back my own true love and place her by my side. As on the harvest evening, when I asked her for my bride, then all the lords of Connaught, with their fearless riding men, will fail to take my darling from my loving arms again. I'll get my brave steed ready and I'll ride far, far away. I'll get my brave steed ready and ride the livelong day until I find my owner's grave in Kilmachnevin grave, and I'll pluck a flower from its flowers and kiss its cold, cold clay. There you go.
Some song, Declan. I'm glad you got to finish it this time. We didn't interrupt. Okay, Racker Donnelly is next, followed by Marianne McAleer.
Well, I'm looking forward to Marianne anyway. I'm a great admirer, a great enthusiast for Irish proverbs, which are absolutely fantastic. They constitute a kind of secular Bible, kind of full of common sense and lots of laughs. And so these are the proverbs in Irish. So I've translated a few of them and rhymed them and renovated them. So I hope you like them as much as I do. First of all, the translation, then the thing in Irish, and then a rhymed version of it in English, which throws a kind of maybe different light on the original proverb. Every beginning is weak. Being gach tussach log, every prince was once a frog. Nature breaks out through the eyes of a cat. Brishan on duchas trihula on which every cat was once a witch. For a dog, good legs bring food. A gossacon na vian a whidge, a nimble hound is first to the fridge. Human health lies in the leg department. A gossip dinner a vian a launcher, you could leap a gate if your feet had launch you. Listen to the sound of the river and you will catch a trout. Eist la fum na haun agus yoi to brack, to down a duck duck down and listen for the quack. It is not beauty that gets the pot boiling. Ní híon oilecht a chuireann an carcán a fiocha. She may look like a duck, but if she can cook, she's pucka. It is best to be unknown to the law. In Oniston Dlee, it's far ve own when the cops around keep their head well down. Every small dog is strong in its own doorway. It's chown gach madra gyar in Urasahi fain. Puppies are popes on their own terrain. A heritage of thought is in the sayings of our ancestors. Airuknas muincha, isha knuckleness shinsha. From our bucket of wisdom, I offer a tincture. If you want to be mocked, get married. Mosmalat de choina, pos. That's why old couples look so morose. If you want to be praised, drop dead. Mosmalat the wulla fi boss. Every bollocks is buried in applesauce. Wealth creates friendship. Dain and Kishta gorgeous. Everyone loved the Borgias. A housewife's work is endless. And by the way, my list of proverbs isn't endless, it's coming to the end now. A housewife's work is endless. Uber ochrich, uber ban chi. If he can pause from labour, why can't she? And the final two. A house without a woman is empty and cold. It's full of fure, chach gan ban. There's no full house without a man. And finally, and this one could save your life, a person's mouth often broke that person's nose. Is minnig a vrish bail dinner a hrone. Watch what you say to Al Capone. Useful stuff brimming with wisdom and wit. Cheers.
Thanks for that wisdom, Racker. Took quite a lot of concentration at this time of night. Okay, we're coming near to the end now. Marianne McAleer will be our next singer, and after Marianne, Wendy Lanchin will close the evening. I'm sorry to those who couldn't get on this evening. Please come again. We would love to hear you next time. So yeah, make sure you get on next time. Okay, over to you, Marianne.
Thank you, Amanda. I thought I'd sing an English one this time, because I'm really into I really like hearing the cuckoos. And a cuckoo called PJ has just returned to Suffolk for the 5th time in 5 years. He's done 50,000 miles, so I think we should be pleased to hear them if we can. But anyway. Oh, the cuckoo, she's a pretty bird. She sings as she flies. She brings us good tidings, tells us no lies. She sucks the little bird's eggs for to keep her voice clear. And when she sings cuckoo, the summer draws near. As I was a-walking by the side of a bush, I heard 2 birds a-whistling, a blackbird and a thrush. I asked them the reason, so merry they be, and the answer that they gave me, we are single and we are free. A-walking, a-talking, a-walking was I, to meet with my true love. He'll come by and by, to meet him in the meadows is all my delight, a-walking and a-talking from morning till night. Oh, meeting is a pleasure, and parting is grief, but an inconstant lover is worse than a thief. A thief can but rob me and take all I have, but an inconstant lover sends me to the grave, and the grave it will rot me and bring me to dust. An inconstant lover no maiden can trust. He'll court you and kiss you and vow he'll be true, and the very next moment he'll bid you adieu. But if I am forsaken, I'll not be forsworn, and he's very mistaken if he thinks that I'll mourn. I'll get myself up in some right high degree, and pass as light by him as he can by me. Oh, the cuckoo, she's a pretty bird, she sings as she flies. She brings us good tidings, tells us no lies, and when her time has come, our voice we won't hear, and where she goes we do not know until another year. There you go.
Wonderful.
Lovely stuff, Marianne. That's 2 cuckoos, 1 cutty wren, and I don't know what other birds we've had this evening. And before Wendy closes the evening for us, a big thank you as usual to our muter, who this evening was James Eagle. and to David for compiling the list of songs. Please, if you have not yet put your the title of your song in the chat, please do so now for David to see and for everyone else to see too. And that's it. Hopefully see you again next week. And yeah, great evening, everybody. Lovely to see you. Over to you, Wendy.
Wow, that was beautiful, Marianne. At least I'm doing something completely different. This is the only Bob Dylan song I ever sing, and it's kind of right for the weather. When the rain is blowing in your face and the whole world is on your case, I could offer you a warm embrace to make you feel my love. When evening shadows and the stars appear, and there is no one there to dry your tears, I could hold you for 1,000,000 years to make you feel my love. I know you haven't made your mind up yet, but I would never do you wrong. I've known it from the moment that we met, no doubt in my mind where you belong. I'd go hungry, I'd go black and blue, I'd go crawling down the avenue. No, there's nothing that I wouldn't do to make you feel my love. The storm is raging on the rolling sea and on the highways of regret. The winds of change are flowing wild and free. You ain't seen nothing like me yet. I could make you happy, make your dreams come true. No, there's nothing that I wouldn't do. Go to the ends of the earth for you, to make you feel my love, to make you feel my love.
Lovely, lovely.
Great way to end the evening, Wendy. Thanks for that. Thanks again to everyone. We're all feeling the love this evening, and yeah, hopefully see you soon.
Thanks
Bye-bye.
all. Thanks, Amanda, James, David, everybody. Lovely to see you all.
Thank you. That was a wonderful evening.